Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
You are listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
My name is Josh Chomick.
And back like always, behind the camera,
Jimmy Parks.
welcome back, guys.
What's up, guys?
Same old. I gotta say off the bat, I listened to last week's episode and I really enjoyed hearing the Christmas music intro. It's been a special thing. And will this be our last episode with Christmas music in it?
I mean, we can keep going like
All year
forever
round.
if you want. I don't know if like people are going to get annoyed by it.
Do you guys get really sad when Christmas is over?
Yeah.
For the next 2 weeks are just the most depressing because like there's no more Christmas music. The lights are coming down.
It's still dark early.
And there's no snow in New Jersey, so
There's no snow.
there's no magic in the air anymore.
I was talking to a friend who is a school teacher in California, and she came home for the holidays, and she was telling me that there's something magical about the Northeast, and we talked about this, Chomik, about Christmas in the Northeast. It's a special thing. Like if you're in a warm climate, I feel bad for you because it's just so nice around Christmas time.
Yeah.
But the downside is from January, I would say pretty much from January 1st through mid-April, New Jersey is one of the worst places to live.
Unless there's snow.
Yeah, I guess.
If you got snow weekly, how awesome would that be?
Yeah, I could see that. I feel like
It's
but
just
we
the
don't get
cold.
snow weekly.
I know, that's the problem.
So it's the worst place to live.
Well, just give me like a 3-foot snowstorm that'll last for like a few months just sitting on the ground.
I don't want that though,
Oh,
because
yeah,
then the snow
Jimmy,
looks
you know
ugly.
what?
I
You know
like
what?
a
It's not
day
about
of.
you.
I like a day of when it all sticks to the trees and looks pretty.
And then what, just disappears?
Yeah, and then it's gone.
We better get some snow this year. We're not getting snow on Christmas, that's for sure.
Well, we were already reported we're getting a white Christmas, and we're going to get slaughtered in the comments when we come out and say it's not going to be a white Christmas.
Guys, we made a post saying it's going to be a white Christmas 15 days out. Like, you don't do that. Like, everyone's like, you can't report this early. It's too premature. Obviously. We did it for the clickbait. We did it for the laughs. It was hilarious. And look, the forecast changed.
Listen, man, I believe in being bold. I believe in making up weather, even if it's not real. We
It's
should
just so
say
fun.
it. And you know what? We'll deal with the backlash when we get there.
Exactly.
That's not for me to worry about. That's future me that's got to worry about that.
Backlash is great. Like, just because people get so mad and they think they're smarter than us. Like, obviously we knew. Like, you don't make a report 15 days out.
There was a weatherman that commented, like very, maybe condescendingly, is a little too harsh to say, but he was like, "You can't make a call this far out. 5 days is even rough. 3 days is pretty much standard." And I was like, "My dude, you're the guy that's part of the weather industry that's been giving us 10-day forecasts for the last, 100 years.
You're part
That's
of the
not us.
problem.
You're the weatherman."
I should respond to him like right now and be like, looks like we're still on track. The storm.
Just troll him.
Yeah, just piss him off.
I love it. Well, guys, it's good to be back. It's exciting that we are 4 days away from Christmas. I don't feel in the Christmas spirit at all. I told my wife today. I feel like it doesn't feel.
You've
like
been watching a
Christmas.
lot of movies too.
I've been trying my hardest to get into it, but it's just I don't feel it this year.
The Christmas cookies didn't do it for you?
I've done everything. I've tried everything. I watched Home Alone last night.
We went to Short Hills Mall.
Yeah, we stopped by to get some Christmas shopping done. We met you at the mall, and
It's the mall that does it for me, dude.
it doesn't do
Give
it
me a
for me.
crazy mall with
The
like,
mall.
dude, seriously, just Christmas decorations all throughout the mall, like with Christmas music. It's so, there's something so special about it.
Well, before we get into the news and into the mailbag, since we did get a mailbag mailer this week, how was your guys' weekend? What'd you guys do?
I was in Mexico.
Oh, that's right. I
was
thought
in
you said that. I
Cancun.
thought you said that last week.
No,
He was
last week I was in
in Arizona
Arizona.
last
Oh, that's right.
This kid's a
My
jet
weekends
setter.
have been just like, guys, I haven't been able to celebrate Christmas here in Jersey. Like getting into the Christmas vibe, I've been in all these warm locations. And like
So-
Josh said earlier, there's no like Christmas spirit in these warm spots.
How
It's
warm
weird.
was it in Mexico?
85 degrees
Wow.
with some humidity. It was hot.
And what were you doing in Mexico?
So work. Was that first? A little work business
Okay.
trip.
Okay. Very nice.
Building the company, you know,
Good. That's
making
like
great.
it.
connections. I played golf. That was really fun.
Oh, that's.
I saw Bruno Mars.
Nice.
Like you saw him on the golf course, or
No, I saw him live. His set.
I thought you meant you had a business meeting with Bruno Mars.
Oh, I
That's what
wish.
you were
No,
doing in
I can't
Mexico.
get anywhere near Bruno Mars. The dude is like one of the most famous dudes on the planet.
are you a big Bruno Mars fan?
You know, like who's not? Like
Me.
everyone knows Bruno Mars. Like he has hits on hits. His whole entire set list was just hits, and his band was incredible. Probably top 5 show I've ever seen.
Really?
Live,
Wow.
I've been to hundreds and hundreds of live shows. Like Bruno is just something.
Wow.
He's like the What's that? What do you call it?
Yeah, he's an icon. He's kind of like, I mean, I'm not a Bruno Mars fan. I don't know. I would never buy a ticket to see him. If someone gave me a ticket, I'd be like, I'll go check it out.
That's why I saw him.
Yeah. But
I would never.
He definitely is one of those guys that is, like, if you look at his discography, like, there's hits on hits, like you said.
If you go to a show, you're going to have a good time because you know every song.
Okay, so here's the question then. Top 3 shows you've ever been to, and what venues were they at, if you can remember them?
Oh, man. That's
You don't have to,
really hard.
in no particular order, so you don't have to say your number 1 to take the pressure off, but 3 shows that...
Frank Ocean.
Where was
at,
that?
At GovBall? Or was that... No, what was the one before... What's the festival? Panorama Fest. Yes. Frank Ocean 2017 Panorama Fest in New York City.
Okay.
One of the best shows I've ever seen.
All right, next.
Unreal. There's so many guys. I've seen Under Oath like a million times. Definitely probably Under Oath when they had their first farewell tour.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. That was a really good show. And then a third?
Yeah.
A third? I can't put my finger on it. I saw Sufjan Stevens in Brooklyn in the pouring rain.
I was with you for that one.
Yeah, were you there? Remember we got lost in Brooklyn?
I got in trouble for that.
Really?
Yeah, because I think I was 17 at the time. And I told my mom
you were out mad late.
I told my mom I was going to hang out with you, and you were
weren't
probably
lying.
19. We took a train to Brooklyn, and it was like I just remember being there. I mean, I like Sufjan. I like his music, but it was a weird show. I remember being like, I wasn't about it.
Well, do you know the songs?
I knew them. Yeah, I mean, I love his music.
That show is so.
But
crazy.
I think when I got there and I was in the full atmosphere of it happening, I was just like, yeah, not for me. Like
fair.
I just felt strange to me. Didn't sit right with me.
That's up there, just like memory's sake, because it was in the pouring rain. It was really, really cool. There's so many. Like that's not a question you could just throw at me, Josh. Like I gotta think about it and come in writing next week.
Jimmy, how was your weekend and your favorite show you've ever been to?
Had a great weekend. Went to New York City. Had a great time. Favorite show ever? We're just doing one now, or do you want top
you
three?
can do like top 3 if you want.
So number 1, I have to say probably Green Day Irving Plaza, just because it was Irving Plaza and Green Day played for like 4 hours.
And you're the biggest Green Day fan. For the people listening, we talked about this in a previous podcast, but you've been a Green Day fan since 7th grade, right?
Yeah, and I got free tickets to the show, which was even better.
$3.99.
All right,
$3.99.
Green Day Irving, great small venue, tight venue.
Then I'm not like a massive Panic at the Disco fan, but just because I did a tour with Panic a few years back.
Okay.
That is
And
special.
I don't know. I just watched part of the set every night. I think it was only like once or twice I actually got to see the whole set. But I just really enjoyed that.
Are you allowed to say why you toured with Panic at the Disco or no?
Yeah, I was photographer for one of the opening bands.
Awesome. Okay.
So
next and then last.
Then last, I don't know. I think it would have to be like a small show. Like I like a lot of small local bands, and some of them like put on some really good shows. Like that band Domini, I've talked about a few times now.
Okay.
I feel like every time I see them, it's like they're playing this massive stadium, but they're really playing like a small.
Let me rephrase
venue.
this question. I don't mean to interrupt you. Let me rephrase this so it's relevant to the podcast. The best show you've ever seen in Jersey.
Oh, in Jersey.
Okay, I can give you mine easily.
Oh, so like New York City doesn't
No,
count.
New York. Remove Philly. Your best show you've seen in New Jersey.
So like Bamboozle or Sayreville.
But like,
at
what artist?
Starland?
What was the moment? I can tell you mine. 2013. I said this in the podcast before. 2013. Kanye. AC. He
was
did
sick.
the 3 shows. And
That
it
was wild.
Before he became totally weird, and it was amazing. It was the coolest concert I think I've been to in a while.
That was
The Nat Geo collab.
Definitely top 10 for me. Like that was an amazing show. Now that you took New York City out of it,
Yeah,
like it
that's
eliminates
harder.
so many options. Because
Also-
like obviously we see so many shows in New York City.
I'll say
Like,
Green Day Starland Ballroom.
Starland Ballroom. Wait, they played where?
Green Day Starland Ballroom.
They played at Starland. Green Day.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow, that must have been wild. I feel like that's a small venue too.
Yeah.
My first metal show at Starland Ballroom, As I Lay Dying, headliner, August Burns Red opener, with a few other smaller bands. But like that's an iconic show to me because it was my first time at Starland. I was 17. No, I was 16. Couldn't even drive. We packed like 12 people into my friend's minivan, drove us there, and it was like one of the coolest shows ever. So,
Can I say one more show
iconic.
to show how different I am from you guys?
Yeah.
Zach Brown at PNC, like
Oh no.
two summers ago after COVID.
Nice.
Great show.
PNC. How could I forget?
I've never been to a concert with so many people before. It was awesome. And it's just one of those summer things you do in Jersey. You got to go to a PNC country show.
I hear.
No.
They've been
I
telling me every year.
protest. I protested.
saw John Mayer at PNC after Born and Raised in 2013, and it was probably the worst live show I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Most boring show. I was like, dude, just play.
I thought you liked him live.
Yeah, I thought you were a huge John Mayer fan.
I love John Mayer. I saw him in Brooklyn, and that show was awesome. That was like 2014. I saw him in Brooklyn, and he was over like his weird folk era, and it was awesome. So I don't know. I think I like Jersey because we have a lot of music all around us, right? There's a lot going on. There's a lot of venues too.
A lot of local shows. A lot of like small venues all over the place. So it's really cool. We used to play shows at like VFW halls back in high school all the time.
I miss shows at places like that.
Me too. Yeah.
And I'm sure they still happen, but it's just
like the hardcore scene was so different back in 2010, and we could like have a whole episode about this, but like it was a special time. And, we had a hardcore band. We used to play shows every weekend at different VFW halls and like bars, and it was awesome because we were like 16 and 17 years old.
Did you ever play at Denny's?
I wish.
Did you see that video?
It's the best video on the internet.
Oh, man. What's it titled? Something about like...
I don't know. I just type in hardcore show Denny's. It's there.
It's called the Denny's Grand Slam.
That's awesome.
I knew it had a funny title. All right. Well, before we get into the news, let's check the mailbag and see.
How was your weekend before we go?
My weekend was chill. Actually, Saturday night, my wife went to the Upper East Side with some gal pals. Is that a weird thing to say? Some of her female friends, her girlfriends, a GNO.
It's a GNO.
Yeah,
Girls' night out.
She had a GNO. It was a friends getting married, so they went to this fancy dinner on the Upper East Side. And she's pregnant, and I was like, she asked, can you pick me up? And I'm like, absolutely. I'm not going to make you take the train to Penn and then wait and come to Jersey. So it took me 2 hours to get to the Upper East Side, which is like, I was expecting 50. I was thinking 55
You took
minutes.
George Washington?
No, Lincoln Tunnel.
You know what's crazy?
Then I walked through the Lincoln Tunnel.
I want to hear about that.
Yeah, why did you walk through Lincoln Tunnel?
You guys are the worst. You don't get that reference?
No.
At this time of year, that's literally
because slow.
The most iconic line in Elf. He talks about his journey from the North Pole to Manhattan, and he says, and then I walked through the Lincoln Tunnel.
Dang, man. No, you got me.
After the 7 layers of the candy cane forest. You guys don't? Okay.
I saw it once.
Well, I'm going to make you mad now.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I drove Amanda and Michelle into the city earlier that day.
Wow.
For that bachelorette weekend, girls' night out.
GNO.
It took me 22 minutes from Josh Chomik's parents' house to
what time of day?
7:00 in the morning.
That's insane.
That's the time to go.
Flew there.
Dude, that should at least take 30 minutes on a good
Flew
day.
there.
That's Union County to Lower Manhattan, Tribeca area, right?
Yep.
So the other thing I was going to say was after I picked her up, it was a 4-hour journey altogether but the drive home, we went down Fifth Avenue by Central Park. Then we drove past the Plaza Hotel.
Wow.
Yes,
What's more
yes.
Christmas than that?
Yeah, so I see the plaza and everyone's taking photos of it. And I'm like, man, we live in such a special place.
Yeah.
And then I shoot, I guess, west on I think that's like 51st or whatever, right? South of Central Park, whatever road that is.
Yeah.
57, something like that. And I drove past Columbus Circle, which is the area where they filmed the end of Elf.
Yep.
When they were all singing and Santa's sleigh goes flying. But you guys don't watch Elf. So I just felt like...
I've seen Elf. I just don't know every line.
And then after that, after I got out of the city and like 30 minutes later, I'm in my living room and I put Elf on and I'm like, how crazy is it that we live in this place where we have access to all these locations that are iconic to this holiday of Christmas. And behind us right now, Miracle on 34th Street's on.
True.
An American classic that took place, I think I probably crossed 34th Street out after I left the tunnel. So
and yet we trash it nonstop.
Actually, no, not after I left the tunnel.
We're like, we hate New York.
Yeah, so. All right, well, let's check the mailbag and see what we got going on today. Hey, you've reached the Garden State. Sorry we can't get to the phone right now. We're decorating our Christmas tree and doing some Christmas shopping at the Woodbridge Mall. Leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Bye.
Hi, guys. This is Ron from Bergen County. My wife and I listen to your podcast on Saturday mornings. We really enjoy it. I wanted to talk about the 7 wonders of New Jersey. Cowtown, great. High Point, great. But what about the Great Falls? Great Falls in Patterson. You can't leave that one out. Thanks a lot.
Oh, that's a great message. And you know what?
Thank you for the call.
We opened that can of worms without prepping for it. The 7 wonders of Jersey. We just started.
No, honestly, we were just like spitting out random things.
But he's right. Ron is right, and I love that he has a little routine there with his wife on Saturday mornings listening to the podcast.
That is really special. We like started a tradition for him.
Yeah, it's. Oh, I don't want to get that. I don't want to take that. He's gonna be like, yeah, let's stop listening to these guys. But no,
They love it.
That's a great point. The Patterson Falls are such an interesting thing. And I never saw them until I actually went with you because you had to drop your car at the mechanic up in Patterson.
Yes, and then we went to drive over.
I was like, can we go see the Patterson Falls? And you were like, yeah, sure. So we stopped by and kind of blew my mind. I'm not going to lie because it's random.
It's like the Niagara Falls of like New Jersey. They're pretty big.
Well, first off,
Yeah.
how does a waterfall like that form in our area?
Well, the area formed around the waterfall.
Well,
No,
you
that's
see,
a
the
good point,
falls
yeah.
formed at the end of the last ice age, approximately 13,000 years ago.
That's a long time ago.
Okay,
So then they were like, oh, let's build a city around this waterfall.
but that's all fine and good. But what I don't get is, can you imagine what the Patterson Falls would look like if we never developed any city there?
Oh, yeah.
it'd be
Imagine it was like
beautiful.
a state park.
It was a state park for
I mean,
a
like,
little while.
I'm
Was it?
talking about like
Yeah.
a massive state park.
Then
Like,
we
take
gave
all
it
of
to National
Patterson.
Park Service.
Wait, the Patterson Falls, where you're saying?
Yeah, so Patterson Falls were a state park, and then they gave that land to the National Park Service.
Oh, wow. But here's the thing is, I'm saying even before all that, if there was no city and that was just woods and you went up and found that waterfall.
That would be so much cooler. It would be so much cooler.
Yeah, you take
It's-
all of Patterson right now and just remove all the buildings, all the streets, put forest, and make it into a park. Imagine how crazy that would be.
It kind of reminds me of Niagara Falls in that way, where Niagara Falls is beautiful, but it's a tourist trap all around it.
Yeah.
Like some of the most beautiful waterfalls that I've ever been to, half the fun is the hike getting there.
100%.
If you could just drive right up to it, it's like,
And this would look so cool. Imagine like there was no highways or streets around it.
Yeah.
Like a big wide drone shot from far away. Like this massive waterfall in New Jersey, the Garden State.
Yeah.
They ruin all these beautiful spots by building cities on top of everything.
Well, I appreciate that message from Ron nonetheless. I think he has a good point there. Patterson Falls are definitely a wonder of New Jersey. They have to be top 7. I think easily.
Yeah, we just weren't thinking. Like if we actually went into that list, I would probably put the Patterson Falls into that list of 7. But we were just kind of just spitting places off the top of our heads.
Yeah, well, I think, yeah, that's a good point. I was looking up, while I was speaking, I was looking up the 7 most incredible natural attractions in New Jersey.
Yeah, what's this list have?
This list says number 1, the Great Falls in Patterson.
Wow.
The Palisades, which honestly,
Palisades are beautiful.
I think that should be one of the wonders as well. Because when you see the actual rugged part of the Palisades,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
It's crazy.
It's also where film was invented. Thomas Edison on the.
I don't think I've ever been to the Palisades, guys.
Wait,
Jimmy, have we ever hiked there?
I have, but we've never done it together.
No, that's an area I always hear about, but I've never actually checked out. We got to do that this year.
Yeah. In the fall, it's beautiful, apparently.
Jimmy, have you ever seen Tripod Rock in Kinnelon?
I've been to other tripod rocks, but
That's the
there's
third.
one in High Point. I've been to that
Island
one.
Beach State Park's number 4. The Buttermilk Falls are number 5.
I thought that's PA, Buttermilk Falls.
No, it's New Jersey.
They're all
That's
right.
right by Stokes. That's the tallest waterfall in New Jersey, Buttermilk Falls.
Number 6, the Pine Barrens.
Yep.
Number 7, Mount Tammany. So I don't agree.
Overhyped.
I don't agree with all those.
What's that overlook in Ringwood State Park that we do?
That's Northern Green.
Northern Green, that's what I'm thinking, yeah. that
That's-
overlook is amazing.
Let's call it the Winoki High Point.
I love that spot.
But guess how much water goes over the Patterson Falls every day?
Okay.
Can you tell me how many go over
In
Niagara
gallons.
Falls? Can you tell me Niagara
Yeah.
Falls, and then that'll give me a good comparison in gallons?
Niagara Falls is going to be 100 times whatever Patterson is.
So that's why we're going to divide this number by 100.
75,000 gallons per
day?
second.
Per second? I was going to say,
Way
that doesn't sound right. Per second.
75,000 gallons per second over the American Bridevale Falls and 681,000 gallons per second over Horseshoe Falls.
So you're asking us how many gallons per day go over Patterson Falls?
Yes.
Let me just go.
I'm going to guess.
I would guess 1.5 million.
I was
gallons.
thinking something similar to Chomik, but I'm going to go even more than that. I'm going to say 3 million gallons a day.
2 billion gallons
Oh,
a day.
What?
Wow, we weren't even a hair close.
Where's that water even coming from, man? It's like, geez.
That's the Passaic River.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that,
Today I learned.
interesting convo. Thanks, Ron, for that message. If you guys want to send us just a mailbag message, you want to tell us about something Jersey related, you want to talk about something we mentioned, you can send it to hello@thegardenstate.com. Just record a voice memo on your phone and send it to us, and we'll put it in the pod. Thank you all. Let's get into the news, boys.
Especially if you hate us and like you really don't like the show or something that we're doing, please send us a voice memo and tell us. That would be hilarious. Thank you.
Well, they wouldn't be listening this far in, I think. But all right, here, first story of the night, and this is a dicey one. A New Jersey Transit bus driver has been arrested after shooting a 15-year-old who assaulted him on his bus.
There's so many sides to this story. This story is nuts.
To me, it's pretty clear.
Are you taking a side?
I mean, this is all allegedly. The article, I think,
he allegedly shot him?
It says allegedly, repeatedly shot. So I think
the kid was brought right to the hospital with gun wounds.
I think journalists have to do that. And we should probably do that as well, because if you say something happened, I mean, until the court makes the ruling, I guess it's just conjecture, right? Conjecture.
Unless you're an eyewitness.
So it says a New Jersey Transit bus driver allegedly repeatedly shot a 15-year-old boy after a fight on a bus in Jersey City on Saturday night, officials said. The teenage victim and others allegedly assaulted Charles Fierros, 48, police said. Fierros then allegedly retrieved an illegal firearm and shot at the teens outside the bus near Monticello and Jewett Avenues. The 15-year-old boy, who was taken to the hospital by taxi, appeared to have 3 gunshot wounds.
Oh, my gosh.
The abdomen. Authorities said Fierro suffered injuries to the head, face during the initial assault. He was treated at the hospital, then released into police custody. Officials said Fierros, who was from Staten Island, was arrested on a slew of charges, including criminal attempt, aggravated assault, and unlawful possession of a weapon.
Wow.
So this bus driver, he's assaulted by these teenagers, right?
Yeah,
Just
it sounds
beaten
like
up.
it sounds like 15. A couple of delinquents went after this guy trying to do his job.
He's trying to defend himself, so he just pulls out an illegal gun and starts shooting a 15-year-old.
Not a good look.
Especially because the gun, like he illegally owned the gun he used, which makes it even worse.
Yeah, it's definitely bad. I think he'd be better off carrying like bear mace on him, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I know I said that last podcast, the bear mace thing, but I think if this was an instance where he just was like, I just want to live, I don't care if I go to jail, and he's shooting at these kids, that's one thing. But if your goal is to ever have a life again, the illegal firearm thing ain't gonna float, my man. So
yeah.
You should bring some mace, you know. But I do.
It just sucks because like this guy was getting just trashed, beaten up by these 3 kids. He's trying to defend himself.
Yeah.
But, we can't carry in Jersey like that. So.
Well, I would say that the other interesting thing is
I would assume that NJ Transit also has like a rule against like carrying weapons in general.
A gun while driving a bus. That's true.
What I was going to say though is like a bus drivers, I used to take NJ Transit to the city, even from an area where there's pretty low crime into the city. The issues that people put bus drivers through, these poor people just drive. They just want to drive the bus.
Yeah.
Right. Getting on without a ticket, talking some garbage at them. It's like, I don't know what fully happened here, but I will say I feel for bus drivers. They go through a lot of nonsense with people always barking at them for whatever reason. And I don't know what happened here. The guy could have been a maniac driving the bus, but I have a suspicion that these 3 kids weren't exactly upstanding young men, and they were probably causing an issue. Maybe they didn't have a ticket. Maybe they, were saying something to the driver and he kicked them off, and then they attacked them.
I'm on the bus driver's side.
They found out.
They found out for sure. I'm on the bus driver's side, man. Don't be messing with these bus drivers, dude.
Yeah.
Don't disrespect the bus driver. If you're all tough and you want to beat this guy up, do it by yourself. Don't do it in a pack of 3. I hate that, man. And of course, the guy just had to shoot him, just ruin his life. That's what sucks about Jersey. Can't defend
wait
yourself.
a second. There's a video of the situation.
I was wondering if there was a video.
Oh, snap. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. So I didn't know the video existed.
Can't post that on TikTok.
He is on the ground with like 6 guys stomping on him. So honestly,
Unreal.
Justified in my opinion. He should, if you're going to stomp on a bus driver.
That's what I hate though. In court, bro, that's not going to hold up.
I know it's not going to hold up,
sucks.
but someone,
I hate that.
so here's some comments on IG, not defending the bus driver, but these parents got to do better because this is all uncalled for. This isn't normal. So man, the comments on Instagram are, are pretty interesting. But look at this guy. He gets up, he pulls the gun, they start to scatter, and he pulls the gun, cocks that thing, and
They did not expect that.
he shot the kid 3 times. So you know what?
gosh.
Honestly, I know it's not a situation to come down on like in a clean cut way, but you're gonna act like that and stomp on a bus driver.
You're gonna find out.
Hey, you're gonna find out. So we'll see what happens here. I'd imagine he's gonna get some jail time, but at the same time, if I was a judge and I saw that, I think I'd be like, my man, you're not getting your job back. But
You think the 15-year-old's going to get charged?
I don't know how juveniles get charged in the state.
Yeah, it's always different, I think.
I think you can be charged as like a grown up though.
Maybe. Yeah, honestly,
Depends. I think if it's like premeditated and all that nonsense.
kids nowadays, there's something's really wrong with our culture. They're in so many areas, but like the fact that 15-year-olds are beating up bus drivers, like
I want to know the backstory. Like, were they just trying to get onto the bus and they didn't want to pay for a ticket?
Guarantee you that's what happened. He kicked them off. Bus drivers aren't having it. They got to run their route. They don't want to be late.
All I can think about is that video of the bus driver.
You
punching
going
up.
to jail?
You're going to jail. Bah!
I love that video.
It's kind of the same thing in this case, except he's
man.
going to jail too.
Can I play that really quick before we move on?
Yes. If you don't know this clip, just search "You're Going to Jail" bus driver on YouTube.
Oh, here it is. Bus driver uppercuts female passenger. Hold on. We got an ad coming through. Let me just skip this ad and then we'll.
It's not our ad.
You going to jail?
You going to jail?
Oh, man. God bless bus drivers. They put up with so much.
They put up with too much.
Let's
man.
move on to this next story. With Christmas coming, New Jersey is about to get hit with some of the weirdest weather we've had in a long time.
Guys, we're talking about one of the coldest Christmases in decades.
But it's going to be preceded by like 50-degree weather, isn't
Dude,
it?
unreal. This Friday is going to be like 56 degrees, tons of rain.
Yep.
Okay.
Stupid. It should be snow. And then within a window of like 6 hours in the afternoon, it's going to drop like 40 degrees into the teens.
So
Crazy.
40 degrees.
there's no precipitation expected?
Oh, yeah, we're
no,
getting
a
lots
lot
of
of
rain.
rain.
Yeah.
No, I mean after the temperature drops.
After, there might.
I think it's gonna start snowing around 1 o'clock.
All right, Jimmy, the weatherman over here.
So is that going to be a lot of snow?
I don't know. Joe?
Jimmy thinks so. I don't think so.
I think it's gonna be enough to kind of like make a mess, right? You got to think that all this rain that we're gonna get, it's still gonna be on the roads. It's gonna freeze when it drops from 57 to 14.
Okay.
Then you're gonna get a nice layer of snow over it. The black ice is gonna be crazy.
To be honest, I think the most dangerous part of this whole entire storm is Friday night when it drops from 56 to 16 degrees. Think about, the black ice, like Jimmy was saying. If you're on the roads Friday night, get off. Like,
I have to drive home from Long Island.
It's going to be so dangerous, dude. Like, all that rain is going to freeze. Like, although all the water on the roads is going to freeze from the rain.
Yep.
It's going to be gross. You don't want to be driving. Stay inside. But this was supposed to be a crazy nor'easter. We were supposed to get like 2 feet of snow, but now it's supposed to be 56 degrees. So we're never going to get a white Christmas here in Jersey.
So
Stinks.
right now it's saying Friday, 52 degrees, precipitation.
Look at Friday night. Look at the low.
So it's looking like 5% chance of rain at 3 p.m. on Friday.
What does this show as the low on this app?
13 degrees.
Wow.
It's going to go even lower than
what
that,
does that
actually.
say?
9 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
So it's going to be
56
very
to
cold.
9 degrees. That's awful.
Here's what I'd say to all of our listeners out there. Just be careful this weekend as we go into Christmas. Everything's going to be frozen. Drive with caution. How's that?
And on top of that, I think like 40, 50 mile an hour wind gusts. It's gonna be
Oh,
bad.
that too.
Yeah.
It's going to get so windy.
We're
bro.
getting 22 mile per hour gusts on Friday.
No, look,
And
occasionally gusting over 40 Friday night.
get it.
You just don't want to drive on Friday night with that wind, ice. You're going to get blown everywhere. Not fun.
You may want to fly a kite, though.
Oh,
You got that new kite in the mail or no?
Yeah, it's coming in.
Nice. We should go to the beach and try it out.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you guys remember my buddy Lance Hogan from back in the day?
yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so I have a buddy named Lance. He's a meteorologist. I asked him today if he wants to call into the podcast, but he was actually busy with like some of his friends.
Oh, wow.
But guys, I got a little special surprise.
What happened?
What?
I got a little mailbag from Lance
No.
for the podcast.
No way.
Our buddy who's a meteorologist, he wanted to share with everyone like what the report is looking on his end.
Get
and
out.
for
Can
you
you,
guys.
can you
Stop
send it
it.
to me so I can play
Yeah, I'm
it?
about to airdrop it to you.
Wow, this is very unexpected.
I
And
can't believe this.
I'm
he's
guessing
he's quite the character, I will say. So this is going to be for sure entertaining. Let's hear what he's
It's
got
like
to say.
Lance Hogan here. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to the Garden State Pod. I watch them a lot. I'm a weather meteorologist out here in New Jersey. Have a lot of developmental land in the Garden State. I am a meteorologist, have been for 24 years. I have a team working with me in my small studio in Palmyra. I'm a loving husband and wife. And I just wanted to say that to Josh and Jimmy, little Jimmy, thank you so much for everything that you do. My forecast for Christmas that I've been working on, kind of behind the scenes as a little small treat for you guys, a little Christmas present, if you will, from the Hogans. I am predicting 4.5 inches of snow for most of the Jersey area,
Okay.
8 inches north. There is one spot, however, on my radar that's having a little bit of a blip with some dry patches of moisture not appearing. That's going to be over, it looks like, zoom in, Island, New Jersey. So if you live in Island, New Jersey, or you're an any weather person, then, well, not going to be a Merry Christmas.
Wow.
Lance is out of his mind.
That guy's nuts. Well, so one thing I will say, did he call himself a loving husband and wife?
I don't know.
He's
Bro,
both.
he sent me that. He didn't send anything back after. He wouldn't text me back. So, but I honestly, he says 4 inches. I don't think we're going to get any snow.
4 inches with Island getting nothing is very interesting.
I know. I don't know if I trust him half the time, but he's been a meteorologist for 24 years. He's a Jersey native. He's been wanting to come on the pod, so we got to bring him on one
We'll
of
have to
these
see if
days.
we can connect with him, but I
But
wonder
yeah,
if
thanks,
he'll be
Lance.
right. Let's move on to the next story now that we got the weather out of the way. How's that sound?
Let's go.
In New Jersey, Rider University has announced social media as a potential new major.
That's pretty cool, I guess. How do you guys feel about that?
I don't know.
I think it's unbelievably stupid.
Okay, I feel like we should be teaching a course.
That's my whole point. I think we're at a point right now where you should just go take like there's people on TikTok that sell their 2-week course or whatever.
Yeah, right?
That would be better than a university professor teaching you about
100%.
social media.
A professor who's just reading off a piece of paper,
Okay, hold on.
like
but
teaching you about social media that they don't even know about.
any hyper creative field that's constantly evolving, like film or social media or even music, unless you're going to a school where like you know how NYU had Pharrell come in for a bit to teach, like
Yeah.
that's worth it for music. But if you're going to some smaller university to learn about music, music theory is one thing, but like recording, the studio, all that stuff, the technology changes so quickly that these people are not able to keep up. Same thing with social media. Like, what are you going to learn from this professor? It just goes back to the point that college is an absolute joke nowadays. It's ridiculous that people are still paying for this type of thing, but I guess it's no more or no less useless than all the other degrees people are getting nowadays.
I wonder what's in that curriculum. Like how are they going to teach you about social media?
They're probably going to talk about, my guess would be there's going to be a lot of baseline stuff, and then maybe they'll get into like
what to tweet, what not to tweet.
No, like the function of ads, how ads work. Maybe some about what's it called on Google where you get your link promoted to the top.
It's 3 letters, right?
Yeah, like
SEO.
SEO, like SEO stuff maybe, but like it's going to be useless. But again, most of college is useless nowadays.
Yeah, you can
it's
learn that
become
all
an
on
absolute
YouTube.
joke. And I can guarantee you that if you want to be great at social media, the best way is to spend all your time working at it. I mean, dude, you're right. Like we should teach a course like this. You and I have
We've
done.
been on it since
Jimmy,
high school.
The three of us,
Masterclass.
like we could do a master class on how to build something on social media. I mean, we've done this for a year and we've built something pretty nice. But it's like the reality is it doesn't matter. College is for taking advantage of young, directionless people. Unless you're going to become an engineer or a doctor, or you want to be a whatever. It's for young, directionless people that don't care about, that aren't told about the massive amounts of debt they're going to get into. So kids are going to go to Rider University and learn about Instagram and they're going to have $80,000 in debt or whatever, or $40,000 in debt. And they're going to get a job, let's be real, out of college making $50,000 a year doing social media for some company in New York. And that'll be their life.
And social media is changing every single day, like you said. Like, how much can they learn? And by the time they're done with that class, social media is going to be different. Like, I don't know.
We have some friends working in high functioning careers within social media.
Yeah.
Like very, I would say almost, I could be wrong on this, but executive level jobs, managing multiple massive brands that if we said the names, you'd know them.
Yeah.
None of them went to college for social media. They're just smart people that studied it. And before they even went to college, were building their thing. So it's like, I think the world is evolving. People need to realize that if you think you're going to go learn in a classroom how to be a creative that's on the cutting edge of, I don't know, social media is in a way a lot of art. Like it's like stuff that it's intangibles that you can't really define. You need to possess certain creative qualities to do that.
100%. Yeah, it can't be anyone.
So I tried. This makes me mad.
I'm down,
I don't know.
Like, I'm just so curious. I would love to go to this class and just to like hear what they're talking about. Because I just want to know, like, this is a college level course. Like, how much of social media can you teach?
I think you'd be better off going to school for like film or writing or like English, something like that, because all those things are elements that you use within social media.
I think,
and you could use it elsewhere too.
Why is a university doing this though? Why don't they do a trade course, like a 6-month course on social media at some, like or influencers? Like I said, influencers have these courses. You're not going to learn better. You should go take a course from Gary Vee. Now I don't know if Gary Vee has a course, but watch his videos. You'll learn more about social media from a guy like Gary Vee, and it's free.
Yes.
And if you're good at it, you'll go get a job. Like if you build, go make the Garden State podcast and get 300,000 followers in a year. That's a resume right there. We could take this and go show a brand, and they might go, "Hey, you guys, we could see that you know how to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like build something. You don't need to put down any money to build something on social media. Make a TikTok account. Make it Instagram. To me, it's ridiculous that I just think it's gouging. You're going to take advantage of these kids and not offer them anything. There's an interesting quote from the dean of college arts. He says, if universities aren't nimble like this and actually look to see what students are looking for in a college career, we'd be in trouble. And that's part of my issue with this is it's a university going, hey, what can we, it's a new product. What's the new product we're going to sell to kids? And I think it's a little ridiculous. Like,
does it say when it's going to start?
I'm sorry if I sound like an old man. I feel like I'm
No, you have to let that out. We agree.
I feel like it's a younger man's position. Like an old man would probably be like, "Oh, that's where the world is heading." But like it isn't though. College is not where I don't know. So
what's the last point say?
It says coursework throughout the 48 credit program aims to train students not only in creating and managing social media content, but also the intricacies involved in analyzing the success of said content and supplemental skills such as video production, graphic design, and podcasting.
So the Garden State podcast.
Yeah, like,
exactly what we do.
Literally, we could do a master class on this.
We do all of that.
I mean,
it's like you were saying, Josh. It's like you got to be good at it. Like you got to know what you're doing. Like I feel like this is the type of thing you can't just like learn. Like you can learn if you tried, but like there's so many people who go to film school and they just suck at film because they don't know how to make a film or know how to work a camera. I think it's just a lot of these things are just come naturally to people.
I was talking to a kid the other day. This is what irks me. I was talking to a kid the other day that told me he wants to go to school for marketing with a minor in video production. And I said, "Do you have a YouTube channel?" And he said, "No." And I was like, "Why not?" You're like 17. Why are you not producing?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Or like it wasn't like he wanted to go to school for film and he wants to go work in Hollywood and like he wants to do video production, which is like learning how to film and edit video. Mm-hmm. Why? We're not living in 1975 anymore. You can make a short film on your own. And
you can learn everything on YouTube. That's how I did it. I'm in that world. I'm a full-time video editor, bro. And like, I never went to school for it because I learned everything on YouTube.
Yep.
And just personal experience.
Just kind of irks me. I feel
bad for the kids like that, dude.
The other thing I'll say is there's, in our generation, thousands of entrepreneurs building massive brands and running their own social media, making millions of dollars on like, I don't know, like a skincare product. Or like, I'm always looking into these young entrepreneurs building brands, and it's like, you don't need some degree to do it. You either got it or you don't.
Yeah.
You have the special sauce, then you're gonna make something awesome, But if you're just, it's just NPC behavior. Not to use a Gen Z term, but it's like you got to be an NPC to go to college for 4 years to learn how to run Instagram. Like, figure it out.
I'm curious what the future looks like, Josh, with these programs coming through the different colleges.
Yeah,
it's probably just going to keep growing and expanding into different colleges.
Now, here's where I feel bad if someone's listening to this and they're like, I'm in school for social media right now.
Encourage them right now. Come on, encourage them.
If you are in that spot, I will say it's the same thing. The same thing could be said to you. Like, you just got to hustle and figure it out. My point is, I personally wouldn't go to college for social media, but if you have, that's not going to be the secret ticket to being successful in that industry. I don't think. I think it's still going to take a lot of work.
Perfectly.
It's going to take a lot of grinding, and I don't think it gives you a competitive edge, to be honest. Maybe if you want to go do social media for like JP Morgan Chase and say, hey, I have a degree, they might go, well, that's great. Like those old head companies that like want to see the paper, the sheet of paper. But like if you want to get a job for Nike doing social media, they're just going to say, send us your portfolio, right?
Yeah.
Bro, perfect example. Before we started the Garden State podcast, I wasn't on TikTok. Like all my friends are like sending me TikToks. I'm like, I'm not getting on TikTok. I'm not getting on that dumb app. And then when we started the podcast, we're like, okay, we got to get on TikTok because that's where the wave is. I didn't know anything about TikTok, but we're like, we got to start posting TikTok. So what did I do? I downloaded TikTok. I started just surfing around the entire app for hours and hours and try to figure out how everything works. We started posting, we started experimenting, and our videos just started catching on because we were using the right hashtags, we were posting at the right time, we were copy sharing, we're doing all the formulas that people taught us online.
We saw one video from Gary Vee.
Yes.
I sent to Josh where he goes, if you're not posting twice a day, he always says this, if you're not posting twice a day on TikTok, you're making a mistake. And Josh was like, that's it, we're posting daily.
I was like, I don't know what we have to do, but we're going to start posting daily. And bro, it's been working.
TikTok is blown up.
I didn't need a university to tell me that. All I had to do was learn it on the app myself and just figure things out by trial and error. And that's life, bro.
And the other thing I'll say is, as a side note about ourselves, our Instagram, we started with 2,000 followers because the account I had already and had followers on it. It took us like 10 months to get to 8,000, to 10,000, right? Because that happened in like end of October, we hit 10,000 and we did a giveaway. We are about to hit 20,000. We might have already hit it right now. Let me check right now, actually.
Because the real machine just turned on.
I love it.
Which is very exciting.
And it's always the stories about the go-kart track in Edison. Our second story blew
We still
up.
haven't visited yet.
Got like over 200,000 shares. Like, dude, pay us.
All right. Well, with that, we'll see what happens at Rider University. I feel like the cream will always rise to the top.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Just like, who's that wrestler that said that? The cream will rise to the top.
I'm throwing that soundbite in right after you say that.
Oh, man. Oh, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Randy.
The cream will rise to the top. And that's it, man. If you got it, you got it. If you don't,
sorry.
All right. Well, let's move on. Since we're talking about colleges, we have another story out of Rutgers. In New Brunswick, New Jersey, a Rutgers University student is suing his fraternity for hazing.
This story is so ridiculous. This kid is in the wrong, and he has no right to be suing this fraternity.
Really? That's a hot take.
That's a really hot take.
I don't read the article so people know what I'm talking about, but like, bro, I have so much to say.
So New Jersey law bans hazing of college students and imposes harsh penalties on those who engage in the practice. So off the bat, they're saying the precedent of, New Jersey, it's illegal to haze people in college. It's also illegal for a minor to drink. So that just should show you how far our laws work in universities. But let's continue. Governor Phil Murphy signed legislation making hazing a criminal act in 2021. The law is named the Timothy Piazza. It's named after Timothy Piazza. Piazza died in 2017 after pledging at Penn State fraternity. He fell down the stairs after being forced to drink a dangerous amount of alcohol as a part of a hazing ritual. According to the lawsuit, Armand Runte, might be Runte, 19, claims he was forced to drink copious amounts of booze by members of the Beta Delta chapter of the Theta Chi fraternity while they determined if he would be allowed to join the frat. The suit names the fraternity, Rutgers, and a number of individuals Runte blames for the incident. Both Rutgers and the Theta Chi fraternity strongly condemn hazing, but the lawsuit claims they ignore their own rules. So this guy claims he was involved. He was invited to pledge during rush week, and on the night of March 24th, 2022, he was forced to consume life-threatening amounts of alcohol. Severely intoxicated as a result of the forced consumption, he says he fell down a flight of stairs, which caused severe injuries.
Boo-hoo. Poor little boy. Listen, what do you learn in high school? You learn about peer pressure. If you don't want to do something, say no. This kid is suing them because he said they forced him to drink alcohol. Bro, just don't drink alcohol. It's your choice to drink and get stupid. And if you drink and get stupid, you're going to find out and get hurt like this. And now he's suing a fraternity. Bro, that's why these fraternities are so stupid.
Yeah, I was going to say, I get what you're saying.
I have no sympathy for him because it was his choice to drink. It was his choice to show up. It's like a drunk driving accident. Yeah. Obviously, someone who is in a driving accident, they chose to drink and drive, and obviously they're apologetic about it afterwards, but you made that mistake, and now you have to take fault for it.
Yeah, I don't think he could play victim here. Everybody knows what frats are about.
Yeah, 100%.
You don't show up and say, I'm going to pledge to a frat and expect to be like doing a Bible study. Like they do. This is what frats do. And I mean, we've had friends that have pledged at different frats, and you hear crazy stories of like, ridiculous things people got to do to get in. And it goes back to how Generation X, which was obsessed with the college experience, the Animal House college experience, brainwashed all their kids into believing they have to go to college, join a frat, and be absolute degenerates, and potentially fall down a flight of stairs and ruin their lives.
Yeah, dude, like the photos of this kid.
Was that a hot take?
Bro, no, it's so true. It's so true because everyone needs that college experience. Like when I didn't choose to go to a big university, people were asking my mom, like, oh, he doesn't want the college experience? No. Well, I'm going to waste my money and my time. I got better things to do. But that's why, like, you see the photos of this kid in like a hospital bed. He's pretty beaten up. Like he had some skull damage and stuff. Really, really sad. But I'm sorry to say it was his choice to drink. It was his choice to want to join this fraternity. He didn't have to do it.
I feel like fraternities are one of those weird areas of our culture because a lot of the people making the laws right now all were in frats. Right? Like that's kind of the whole point. Like even we've had presidents that were in the Skull and Bone Society, which I don't think is a frat, but like all these there's all these prominent lawyers and finance guys, they're all in frats. And it's like, so you're expecting who to change the law? Like I know Governor Murphy already signed a law, but nothing's going to happen. This kid, the reality is he found out as well. Like, what do you think is going to happen? Now, I'm not saying everybody that joins a frat falls down a staircase and cracks their skull. And, but you're right. You're a man. So man up and
you're an adult.
You're a man.
Know your limits.
You don't want to fall down a staircase. Then just say, hey guys, you know what? I think I'm at college to learn, not be a part of a frat. And maybe I should just go study in my room. Now, do we sound like boomers saying this? Yeah, for sure. And I don't really care at this point in my life because I never fell down a flight of stairs and cracked my head open.
Dude, same.
Good job, bro.
Let's go.
Now, some people might think I fell down a flight of stairs and cracked my head based on my ideas. But no.
You did good.
I did crack my head open as a kid.
Oh my gosh, there you go. You just gave yourself up.
I think it's just hard for me to have a ton of sympathy on anything frat related.
I have no sympathy for this kid. Like you can't be suing them. It was your choice, bro. You shouldn't have went to the party. You shouldn't have drank. All right? Sorry.
Now, with that, I want to be...
It's a life lesson right there, bro.
I want to be sensitive to this guy's situation because there's a photo of him in the article.
Oh, I saw it.
And he does not look good, man. He looks like an absolute mess on this hospital bed. And he had a brain bleed, which is there's going to be potentially permanent damage to his nervous system.
There will be, yeah.
I think the bigger question is, when do we recognize that the entire, I don't know, this is just going to sound like such a hot take that people are not going to agree with, but like, when are we going to just acknowledge that the culture around universities and college is stupid? It goes back to the social media thing. It's all made up stupidity.
Well, that's the thing. Most people...
And then what's going to happen is these kids are going to graduate with $80,000 in student loans for their little 4-year charade at university. I just think colleges have become such a joke. And why are you still going? Like you can, unless it's something extremely important, like becoming a doctor. I don't know. It just, to me, colleges have become ridiculous in America. It's such a hilarious, ridiculous thing. Like this kid, what was he even in college for? Like he cracked open his skull on a staircase at a frat house. What were you in college for? What was his degree he was studying?
So dumb, bro.
I don't know. It just, to me, it's like, if he never cracked his skull open, we would have never heard about this.
Yeah.
He would have never been suing them. He would have had it would have been like, I'm in the frat now.
Yeah.
Right?
I fell down the stairs last night, guys. Look at me. I'm so cool.
I don't know. I'm becoming an old man.
No, Josh.
Jimmy, you weren't in a frat, right?
No.
Jimmy, you wanted to be in a frat. You went to Rutgers.
I did not want to be in a frat.
Did you try to pledge?
Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
Good for you. I hear these stories. I'm just like, I'm so happy I didn't do that.
I'll never forget driving through Rutgers one time with Jimmy and some
I
of
was
our
going to
friends.
ask if you could tell this story.
Well, I didn't do anything wrong, but Jimmy.
No, I'm not saying you
Jimmy
did.
had to go into. We were driving through on like I don't know, might have been a Friday night, and Jimmy was like, "Hey, can we stop by this house real quick? I want to say what's up to my friend."
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So I don't want to give the entire story, but I remember Jimmy went in.
I did not.
And you didn't go in?
No.
Someone else went in.
Our friends went in.
Yeah, so our friends went into this house, and I'm like waiting outside in the car with, I guess, Jimmy, And it's a little while, and I'm like, all right, I want to leave. Like, what are we doing here? So I went and I walked up to the house to be like, hey, can you guys come out? Because they weren't answering my texts. And I go to the door, and this like 5'8", cocky little frat bro.
A short king.
I'm like 6 inches taller than this kid, and he's like, "What's up, man? You know anybody here?" And I'm like, "No." I was like, I have a friend in there. I just want to tell him I want to leave." And he's like, "Nah, bro. If you ain't bringing girls, like you're not coming in." And I'm like, "All right." Like he was like getting in my face, and then his friends came out, and I was like, "This is the nerdiest thing in my life. You guys are nerds. Like this is ridiculous." And it's like the pack thing. You're confident because you're with a bunch of your friends. So I just remember I called my friend and they answered their phone. I was like, "Can we please leave? Like this is ridiculous." So I mean, yeah. So I think you have an encounter like that, and I'm like, it's just frats are nerdy. I don't care if you're a frat bro listening to this. No offense, my dude, but it's to me, it's like just man up, grow up, go get a hobby. So.
Not about it. I went to a UDEL party once, dude. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Talk about like Rutgers times 20. Like it was a mess. And like
I don't think I've ever heard this story.
I'm not going to share it, but like after that, I never went to like another college party ever. I was just like, this is so stupid, dude. It's not, I don't know. Don't feel bad for this kid. You know, I hope he recovers well, but I don't think he's going to win this lawsuit. That's my opinion.
Moving on. In Edison, New Jersey, 20 people have been arrested in connection to illegal massage parlors.
Dude, in Edison, there's like a million massage parlors.
I'm
not surprised by this story. I'm
surprised
so many sketchy spots.
Well, and the article goes on to give every different parlor that got busted, and they have a photo of each one. Let me count them.
How many did they get?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
House.
Oh, wait, the house.
It was in someone's house too.
Yeah. Yeah, so 8 altogether, and 20 people were arrested.
Nice.
And they're currently, so the police chief, Tom Bryan, said that those arrested faced a range of promoting prostitution, human trafficking, and drug and weapons offenses, News 12 reported. So one of the things all those things are pretty horrendous, but human trafficking, that's kind of crazy.
Bro, all around us there's human trafficking. It's absolutely absurd.
And we've talked about this before on the podcast, how New Jersey for sure has a human trafficking problem, but think about the fact that right around you, and I mean, should we define human trafficking just so we're clear? Because it just seems like when you think about it, the fact that it's happening around us, it could be easy to go, it's not, that's not real.
Yeah.
But then when you find out like it's basically modern day slavery.
Yeah.
And so it says township officials recently announced a crackdown on illegal massage parlors, resulting in the arrest of 20 people and over $550,000 in seized assets. This was our boldest covert operation to enhance the quality of life for residents and businesses, Mayor Sam Joshi said in a Facebook post on Wednesday, adding that the township also had demolished 2 blighted, unsafe structures. So
What structures?
I don't know.
What's that mean?
I'm guessing
What's
there's
a blighted, unsafe structure?
some of the buildings.
Yeah, because some of them look not well.
I actually met Mayor Joshi once. He's a really nice guy.
Joshi,
Really?
not Joshi.
Yeah, Joshi.
Cool.
Nice guy.
Yeah, super nice.
So the crackdown after an investigation for several months involved at least 8 addresses, several of them along Route 27 and Oak Tree Road as follows. So they show the different places that got busted. And it's pretty wild to think about.
Just because like we're from the area, so looking at all these spots, we're like, wow, we drive by this place all the time.
Yep.
And if you see these images like on our TikTok, like you're gonna recognize most of them because they're on these main roads. But yeah, these things happen every single day, bro.
Yeah, and the human trafficking thing, not to beat a dead horse, but it's a real thing, and it's something that hopefully in the coming years people in our culture become more aware of, because it is kind of one of those modern day things we got to work through as a culture and figure out how to resolve.
Yeah, I would love to see how many like people are trafficked like daily in this area.
Probably terrifying.
It's a lot. I'm guarantee you it's a ton. I mean, let's see. Human trafficking victims USA. Let's find out how many. So 24.9 million victims worldwide. I wonder what New Jersey is. I wonder if there's like a number.
Oh, it has to be so up there, bro.
So I guess we'll there's nothing to really see what happens here. People are going to jail, but it's going to be interesting to see if this stuff kind of continues and if what happened.
It's estimated that between 15,000 and 50,000 women and children are forced into sexual slavery in the United States each year.
That's nuts.
That's insane.
It's really sad.
It's very,
It's a
very
real
crazy.
thing, dude.
So I think A21, I might have that wrong. Yeah, A21 is a nonprofit that I've heard is pretty solid. That helps with human trafficking. If you want to look into this more,
What's their website so we can tell people?
A21.org is abolishing slavery everywhere. So they have the goal of eradicating human trafficking through awareness, intervention, and aftercare. So yeah, I heard that the Super Bowl weekend is the most
It is.
is the number one weekend for human trafficking.
That blew my
In
mind when
America.
someone first told me. I was like, Super Bowl weekend.
Nuts. So we'll yeah, I guess if anything, it's good that we could use this podcast to share something like that with some of our listeners.
And thank God they stopped these 20 people in Edison. So let's make Edison a better place. Come on.
And let's make these 20 people our criminals of the week.
Oh, cool. You're giving out multiple criminals of the week.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a 20 pack, an ultra rare 20 pack.
I thought you were going to give the bus driver the criminal of the week because we liked him, but that's cool.
No, the bus driver ain't a criminal. That dude, I want to hang out with him.
He's going to be a criminal. I don't care what you say.
He might go to jail. We'll see.
Still going
I mean,
to jail.
He's still going
He
to
pulled
jail.
out the heater. He should have just had some mace, but whatever. All right, so the state of the next article, I almost want to dive headfirst into that one. You guys ready for it?
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
do
ready.
it.
Let's
Okay,
go.
sorry. I got a little, I put the horse ahead of the carriage. Put the carriage ahead of the horse. Is that the saying?
Never heard that saying before.
It is.
I mean, the horse should be ahead of the carriage.
What's that song before we move on? Because you said it earlier. I'm going. Remember that song, Old Town Road?
Yeah.
So did you hear the famous parody about Oak Tree Road?
Yes.
What do they say? I'm going to take my what down Oak Tree Road?
Okay, hold on. Oak Tree Road. I'll play it right now.
Old Town Road parody. I just want to hear what that hook is. It's stuck in my head right now.
This is a New Jersey cultural experience. You're going to want to hear this if you've never heard it before. If you're from the Island area, this one's for you.
Let's go.
This is amazing. I've never heard this.
So I guess the idea is this is a guy living in Manhattan that's taking the train to Oak Tree Road to
That's
learn about
amazing.
to learn about his culture.
That is so great.
It's the Indian Desi parody of Old Town Road, so you guys can check that out.
Fire. Flames.
Oh man, this guy commented, "Bruh, I'm from Rahway, and this is the funniest thing ever. I don't think anyone outside this area understands this," and that's true.
Well, I heard people from like even India, bro, travel to Island, New Jersey. It's like
Really?
it's super popular, bro.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It's like people coming in from like India, they come to Island, New Jersey.
That's sick.
It's so cool. Like,
Shouts out to Island.
Honestly,
They're not getting snow on Christmas.
no snow for them, but I'm honored to live right next to Island.
All right, so let's move on to this next story. The state of New Jersey is preparing a $10.7 billion plan to expand the width of the turnpike near the Holland Tunnel.
No, it's not gonna work. Bro, next to the Holland Tunnel. Okay, so they're gonna just expand it so that everyone can still come into those same 5 lanes next to the Holland Tunnel. Unless you're gonna unless you're gonna expand the Holland Tunnel somehow, this stuff never works.
It never works. I took actually a class in college about this, and basically lane expansions never work.
Jersey,
Really?
Yeah.
especially in Jersey, where we live, like we're talking about the most populated area.
Densely
Not cool.
populated state in the nation.
I think it's a really good point that our population is for sure shifting, and I always talk about buying houses, but we have a housing shortage, and I think there's a few reasons for that. I mean, some people blame the builders not building for the last decade, but another reason is our population is growing. People are moving in. COVID put people out of the city into Jersey.
Apartments going up everywhere, bringing in more people.
And the other thing is, yeah, it's like there's apartments going up everywhere. And
What do you expect?
I don't know when there's an end to the madness. Like I want to run for governor on the platform of, can we please stop overpacking the population?
Yes.
Maybe we should put out, I mean, this is going to kill our people in Hunterdon County and up in way north Morris County, but maybe we should encourage people to move out a bit. Maybe we should find ways to encourage the
I would love
expansion
that.
out into areas that aren't Bergen. What's the county that Jersey City would be in?
Hudson.
Hudson County, Union County. Like This is craziness. And I'd imagine it's similar down near Philly. They're going to expand the highway, and what's going to happen?
They're going to go back into those same 5 lanes that go into the Holland Tunnel, and there's going to be even more traffic, Josh. It's going to be a mess.
No, I don't think this is the solution. And it's funny because the article points to how they're doing this at a time where we're trying to discourage people from going to the city through congestion pricing.
Yeah.
That's kind of the goal of Governor
This
Murphy's
is going to bring
office.
more people.
So which is the idea, if you guys don't know, with congestion pricing is Governor Murphy has this plan to...
It's actually not his plan.
Oh, was
No,
it
he's against it.
DOT?
It's New York City's plan.
New York City's plan, and Governor Murphy said he wouldn't back it unless there was a credit, right?
Correct.
That's right. Okay, so my mistake. Let me correct the record there. The city of New York was working to find a way. I think Governor Murphy's statement was he likes the model of congestion pricing, but he wouldn't be in favor of it unless we receive a credit.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with congestion pricing if they're going to raise the prices.
It's
but
locked. It's happening.
It is.
Yeah, it starts.
Is it?
Yeah, it starts like January. I had it in the story list, but we cut it. I think like the tolls going to the city are going up by $1.
Yeah, but that's not
That's not the
congestion
no,
pricing.
but that's not the because congestion would be it's raised specifically in the peak hours.
Yeah, it's only
Tolls are just going up because they're going up.
I don't know. I read a congestion pricing story.
Oh, okay, interesting.
it's different than that though.
I don't know. You put it in the article.
But
So
it's different.
Okay.
so either way, they're going to expand the highway, and I don't think it's a solution. I agree with you guys. I think Josh, you make some good points about there's only a few lanes to get. You said 5 lanes, but the Holland Tunnel's 2 lanes.
Yeah, so it's coming even down to 2 lanes.
So,
yeah,
like,
good luck. I hate that road.
You can't expand the width of the Holland Tunnel. It's there.
Do you want to read just so we give them the context
Yeah,
that
sure.
like we're talking about this certain area?
So it says the cost of a contentious New Jersey highway widening project has now leaped to a breakthrough height, $10.7 billion. That is more than $1 billion for each mile of the traffic choked turnpike from Newark Liberty International Airport past Bayonne and through Jersey City toward Lower Manhattan.
The worst
So
area.
think you're driving past the Liberty Science Center. That's what we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay. The 8.1 mile stretch of New Jersey Turnpike has become a crucial artery for trucks ferrying products to and from the nearby ports and warehouses that have boomed in the pandemic economy. By adding as many as 4 new lanes, the project seeks to ease traffic near the state's import and export hubs while making much needed repairs to a largely elevated highway that was built in the 1950s. But as the project nears its first hurdle in obtaining the necessary permits, it has become a lightning rod for criticism over whether making room for more cars and more trucks in one of the most polluted corners of the country is a smart use of limited funds.
Bro, and also think about it. If they want to expand that highway in that elevated area, there's apartments right there.
Yeah.
Where they knock down
Eminent domain.
apartments?
Yep.
That's like disturbing to me. They're going to knock people's apartment buildings down.
Yeah, just to cause more traffic. That's absolutely insane.
But yeah, I feel like we're just putting Band-Aids on a big cut, you know? Like it's minor solutions that aren't going to solve the problem. I think what Jimmy said about his course earlier was interesting about college.
Yeah.
Where you learn that lane expansions never work.
Yep.
And
That's why you got to do double tier.
I mean, this is coming down the pipe. Think about this. What's New Jersey going to be like in 2050?
That's what I think you just gotta level the whole thing.
Like we're going to have
Level it down.
have the Garden State Parkway, still going to have the Turnpike. And we're probably going to have, I mean, I'd imagine 30 years from now with the way our population's increasing. Let me see how NJ population, and let's see what the scale shows. Because I'd imagine it's exponential, right? So let's say from the year 2000, we were at around, 8 million people. And now 20 years later, we're at 9.2 million people.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So we've gained 1.2 million people in 20 years. Okay?
Nice.
So in 1980, there were 7.3 million. So in the last 40 years, we've gained around, I don't know if I'm going to be accurate with it, around 2 million people. So I think it'd be safe to say with the increased growth from 2020 to 2050, we'll probably have 12 million, 13 million people.
Someone in the article was saying, like, we're already too late on this project. This should have happened 20, 30 years ago, this expansion.
I'm not going
It's
to
too
lie,
late.
guys. I would love to live in New Jersey in like 1965 with 7 million people. That was probably when all these suburban towns were quiet little streets.
Yeah.
Like, you drive through any of these popular suburban towns, they are a nightmare of traffic in apartment buildings.
So bad.
And like, I want to go back to the 70s and 80s and see what Jersey was like. It was probably so sweet.
The 2040 projection for New Jersey's population is 9.4 million.
9.4.
Which
By
isn't
20
as much as I thought.
By 2040?
By 2040, which, you know what I'm thinking?
No, because they said we're going to peak.
boomers
Well,
are
they said we're going
die.
to peak soon in population worldwide.
I don't know. I don't know how that's possible for it. And that's saying that's saying 150,000 people are going to be added to the population. You're right. That's so there is a point there because our population's stagnating because our generation isn't having kids.
Yeah.
So there is a generation that's going to die. I hate to say it like that, but they're going to die, and then there's going to be nobody left, I guess, to take their place. But at the same time, I don't know. It's like that scene from Jurassic Park. Nature finds a way. I think it'll all level out. I think we're going to be...
Texas is going to like explode though. 2020 population is 29 million in Texas. 2040 projection, 40 million.
But that's why like prices in Texas, like these cities, like bro, like Austin right now, like the prices are just soaring right now.
Yeah.
Because everyone's moving down there, bro. You can't afford to live there anymore, like it was before COVID.
So what's the hot area of America to move to that's going to be the future that right now might just seem kind of tame, but 20 years from now could be the location? Where should we be going?
So predicting the next hot
Yeah,
spot.
like where's the next hot? Because I think the hot spots of Texas and Florida, that's played out. People are saying Montana, that's going to be...
A lot of people are moving to Nashville.
Nashville is great
I know
for
a lot
business.
of people.
Nashville is like an amazing place to live right now, apparently. But
You
I think that train's already left the station as well.
I heard Tulsa is pretty poppin'.
Tulsa, no way.
Oklahoma, yeah, and it's still
Really?
very affordable. I feel like
Dude.
that city's going to be booming in like 20 years.
I could never.
I want to see a photo of what Tulsa looks like.
We drove through there together, remember?
I don't think we drove to the city, did we?
We didn't drive, we drove next to the city.
It's a pretty decent
If
city.
you tell me, hey man, I'm moving to Tulsa, I think I'd be like, my brother in
I
Christ.
hear cool. I don't know. I hear things.
I'd sing the song from Sound of Music. So long, farewell.
I don't know. I'm just trying to predict where the next boom is. It's going to happen. And I don't know. Tulsa
Not
seems...
Tulsa.
Yeah, hey, you don't know this. We're going
No.
to come back to this pod in 20 years. And I'm going to be like, guys, I told you so.
I think my guesses for hotspots would be, I'm about to say
Get
some
out of-
wacky,
get out
some
Kentucky.
wacky locations.
You can't go to West Virginia, bro.
I feel like West Virginia though is one of those sleeper states.
No.
Definitely not Ohio. We can agree on that, right?
I don't know. Columbus, though. We don't like Ohio, but I feel like Columbus is popping already.
What's a state that gets no love? Like Iowa,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really hear much about
West
Iowa.
Branch,
Des Moines,
Iowa.
Des Moines, Iowa,
West Branch.
West Branch.
What's West Branch?
I can't even see. That's not even.
Booming city in Iowa. West Branch, Iowa. Look it up.
What's Des Moines, Iowa like? It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it looks like your class. It looks like Tulsa.
It looks like Newark.
It does look like Newark.
This is my analogy. Every big city in another state looks like Newark. It's like if you just go, if Newark was a little bit cleaner, it would look like Cincinnati.
Des Moines, Iowa.
Omaha, Nebraska. How about that?
I'm good.
Omaha is probably a sweet place to live.
Why? It's like, dude, bro, you can't say that and then talk bad about Tulsa.
No, Omaha, Nebraska is cooler than
Probably-
Tulsa.
Why? It's the same thing.
Because Omaha, Nebraska, you're in a different terrain.
It's the same terrain as Tulsa.
Tulsa, Oklahoma is literally...
What's the
Oh my
difference?
gosh, I keep clicking the wrong thing. Tulsa, Oklahoma is like flat land in the middle of nowhere. Omaha, Nebraska is up in like...
Up there, where?
You're like...
What-
Cool. It's like...
It's flat.
I guess. Look at the hills around the city.
Let me see the hills. It's a little,
Oh, that's a building.
Yeah, it's a building, bro.
It's pretty flat. You're right.
It's their Central Park.
It looks pretty boring. Man, we have these
We're
American cities. We really got to work on this. So
Well, that's the problem, dude. Everyone's moving to Jersey, and now we're overcrowded, and we got to go find the next sweet spot.
could we? Because we'd have to change the podcast name, right? We'd have to find a new name.
No, we could do the Garden State podcast out of state if it gets really bad here.
I've really considered moving to Nashville. I'm not saying that tongue in cheek. Like I think I'd
Really?
if I was going to start over somewhere, it'd be in that Nashville area.
We have a ton of friends moving to Charlotte right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Charlotte seems
Charlotte's
like
poppin'.
a hot spot, but I'm not crazy about the Carolinas. I mean, unless it's down by like Charleston by the beach, or down by Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah.
That sounds
Shout out to everyone from Savannah who listens to the pod.
couldn't do Alabama, couldn't do Mississippi, Could do Tennessee. Couldn't do Kentucky.
How about our Kansas?
I think I could do Virginia. I really think the issue for me is I could do upstate New York, but the issue is New York is like Jersey with taxes. Like,
Yeah, the taxes are unreal, dude.
if you got me up in like Hudson Valley, New York, out in the woods, my brother, that is prime America. I was talking to someone today. New York has everything.
Are property taxes stupid up there too?
I'd imagine in the woods you're good,
Yeah.
but like the issue is you have no control over any. I don't know. It's like any. I don't know that you have much of a say in like what happens with your tax dollars when you're in the middle of the woods in New York. You know.
Yeah, but
it's
at that point, you're by yourself. Who cares?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You want to go to Florida?
No interest. I go there on vacation. Just too humid for me.
Yeah, it's way too humid.
I saw
No snow.
I saw this beachfront property in Florida, and I was like, oh, I could see that. I mean, like if you were in the right area where it's very tropical.
Yeah, I don't want to see that price.
But I've been to Orlando like 15 times, and every time I go to Orlando, I think this is.
Well,
not
yeah,
it.
I'd be fine if I never went back to Orlando.
I don't think we could judge though Florida based off our experience in Orlando.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't like Miami. Been there many times. Don't like it. I think I would have to go to somewhere like today I was talking to someone. They say Tampa is pretty cool.
I like outside Tampa.
I hear
Clearwater.
like outside of Tampa and like that whole area is pretty cool. The Keys are beautiful for vacation.
Okay, hold
but
on.
I'm not living in the middle of nowhere on the Florida Keys. It's way too expensive and it's humid and you're gonna get killed by a hurricane out there.
I want to go to the Florida Keys. I've never been.
It's cool. It's a trip.
Like, what's it like? Do the beaches feel like different? Do they feel like tropical?
I didn't go on the beach. I just went on a boat, but like it kind of just feels.
How'd you get on the boat?
On a dock?
Next to the beach?
No, at a docking station. No, it was 5 a.m. It was still pitch black out
Okay,
too.
that's fair. Sorry, I'm being annoying, but I don't think I could ever afford to live there unless this podcast seriously took off, which
Might happen.
maybe if we go to college for social media, Josh, we could really take this thing to the moon.
I'll go back to college with you, Josh, especially if this podcast just dies. Like next year, we'll see what happens. We might have to go back. Take a
Ryder
social media
alumni?
call. I'm down, bro. It's Ryder. Where is Ryder in Jersey, by the way?
South.
South? Like
Yeah.
how far? Where south are we talking?
It's by somewhere, South Jersey.
Go to the map.
Lawrenceville.
Oh,
Next to
it's,
Trenton.
it's near Trenton. Well, Josh,
Well,
you
this
never
is,
know.
If you search
Online.
Ryder, if you look at Ryder University on Google Maps, the photo that comes up is like
It looks like a high school.
the most boring looking building in the world. Like if that's your sales pitch, man.
Get me out of there.
There's some beautiful buildings on campus, it looks like, but that's not the one. All right, with that, that's the conclusion of this week's podcast. We just want to say a special thank you to everybody for listening. We hope you have a very, very,
Very,
Very.
very,
a
very.
very Merry Christmas. Josh, you want to say anything?
You know, last week I don't know. I want to ask you guys, did you guys get any compliments about the singing?
Yes.
My family
Yep.
loved it.
I got a lot of feedback. Someone commented on our video, like, I love the serenade at the end. And as you brought that up, I literally thought, I was
Are we
just,
about to do another one?
I was thinking to myself, it is the end of the video. Today, if they're listening to this on Friday, it's the day before Christmas Eve. If this YouTube video didn't have 3 ads in a row, I wouldn't have to stall so much. I was just thinking about how we're going into the official weekend of Christmas. And is there anything more special than Christmas?
There really isn't, Josh.
I mean, I guess if you're Jewish and you're celebrating Hanukkah right now, happy Hanukkah. But if you celebrate Christmas, I think it's, to me personally, the peak of Western civilization is Christmas celebration. There's something so special about it. You feel things you don't feel other times of the year. And
I want my front yard to look like that, though. I want
video
like
is
snow
beautiful.
covering everything with, the snow falling from the sky. Give me that.
it looks like Omaha, Nebraska to me.
It could be us one
No,
day.
that's like Wyoming looking.
yeah,
with
give me
the
Tulsa.
mountain.
Give me Tulsa.
Yeah, well, it's a special time of year, Christmas time. And Josh, do you want to say a special thank you as are we going to have another podcast before the year's over?
Yes.
One more.
Heck yeah, we're gonna have a podcast.
gonna
Are you
do-
away next week? Is everyone here next week?
I'm here next week.
Oh, I'm going away. I forgot to say that in the podcast.
No, you're not.
I'm going away from the 26th to the 27th.
Oh, a day.
That's nothing.
Wait, when is that? Monday to
Monday to Tuesday.
Where are you going?
We're taking a little journey down
Cape May?
to Cape May.
Ooh.
Nice.
A little baby moon, just a night away to celebrate life.
Who's going?
Before. Just me and my wife.
Nice.
Kind of jealous you're not invited.
Do you want to come?
I'm actually busy that
We
day.
could get a
I'm busy the 26th to 27th.
We could get a trundle bed. We could just sleep you on the floor.
You really do that to me?
I'd do it for you.
That's what I meant to say.
Well, crank that up a little bit. Let's just take this in one more time because we won't be able to do this time next week. The Garden State Podcast is produced in New Jersey by PBS and affiliates, thanks to viewers like you. Thank you. All right,
Please don't
music-
sue us for copyrighted music.
keep this music at this level. And we're each going to say, because this is the tradition now, we say one thing. We're each going to say our favorite thing we're doing this Christmas.
Josh, how about you lead us off?
Well, growing up, on Christmas Eve, we'd always do this thing where we'd go to the church, and they had a candlelight service where everybody lights a candle, and they sing Silent Night. And that was just always the most, classic kind of thing. And then this past year, we went for a drive through Summit, and then people had the
Luminaries.
the luminaries out.
Oh, yeah. You told us about that.
Oh, my goodness. We put some Christmas music on. We drive around. It's awesome. It's the most Christmassy thing you could do. And that's it. It's a great experience.
It's going to be a Christmas Eve key change. Nice. That was awesome. Just Christmas Eve, spending time with my family, my cousins, like the family all gets together. We open gifts. Christmas Day, same thing, just chilling with the family. Pretty low key over at the Chomick family household. We might hit a diner at night. Usually, like we share that diner story.
Yeah.
Sometimes like the friends get together and we go hit a diner, do something normal, out of the ordinary, see whatever's open. But I have zero plans, dude. I'll probably just sit on the couch and watch Christmas Story on Christmas morning.
And then a Christmas story.
Oh, I do have a tradition.
Yeah.
Every Christmas Eve at Christmas Eve morning, my dad and I and my uncle and cousins would take a drive to Dulce de Leche Bakery in West New York to pick up the pastries for our Christmas Eve festivities. And we do that every single Christmas Eve.
I love that.
So we wake up early, we drive there. If it's snowing, it's better, but obviously it's going to be freezing this year. But yeah, then we have breakfast there together, just the guys. And then we bring all the pastries home. It's the best.
I love it. That's wonderful. Jimbo, what about you, brother? Favorite Christmas tradition?
Well, actually, on the 23rd, the day before Christmas Eve, I sit down with my mom and we watch the Festivus episode of Seinfeld.
Really?
Nice.
Oh, that's stinking awesome,
On
dude.
Festivus.
That's great.
I love it.
Wait,
Every
the
year.
23rd is Festivus?
Yeah, 23rd is Festivus.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Yep.
What is
we got
Festivus?
We get the pole out of the garage, out of the crawl space, and then we have Festivus dinner where we all come
Really?
around the table and we talk about how we've disappointed each other.
And
And
you
then the
do-
feats of strength.
The feats of strength.
I fight my father.
So it's
Is that a Seinfeld
it's
reference?
a
or is it
Seinfeld.
a real
Yeah.
thing?
So in Seinfeld, George Costanza, his father doesn't observe Christmas or Hanukkah. He has Festivus, his own holiday.
Yeah.
And part of it is feats of strength.
Okay.
Where he has to wrestle his son.
Nice.
So
and they have a pole instead of a tree.
I should watch that this year, Jimmy, on the 23rd.
Every year I watch it.
I'm going to join you on that this year on that one. Just
Amazing.
text me to remind me.
I will.
Because I want to do that.
I'll text you Happy Festivus.
Well, with that, we just want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. We hope it's full of joy and new memories for your family. And I feel like Delilah right now.
You sound like the male version of Delilah. You're really doing well.
Thanks, man. We should let people call in with their love issues. We should help them. Dude,
It'll be the love hour.
I love radio. I'm obsessed. I'm a nerd for radio.
Well, Josh and I used to do a YouTube segment called the Love Hour.
Wait.
And remember we used to answer people's questions about life.
Before we even get it, because we can't close out the podcast talking about the radio without saying what we did in college.
What
We would go to the gym together, and then on the drive home, we go to Retro Fitness in Clark, New Jersey. We'd get in the car, we'd drive on the way back to your place. we'd listen to Keith Sweat.
Keith Sweat, legends.
And what was his
107.5.
107.5, The Love Hour.
Yes.
And he would just talk like love-related issues.
People would call him with their advice, and all these girls would be like freaking out over Keith Sweat, but like these people had issues. Man.
I called in twice, and I would say it's J Ice from NJ. And yeah. And one time he said to me, he was like, "How old are you, son?" And I said, "I'm 19 years young, sir." And he laughed at me. But those are the good old days, man.
We have to find those recordings.
I said,
we don't know where they are.
We would crank call Keith Sweat, and it was just a special.
He would answer every time.
So we should prank call Delilah and be like, "Hey, what's up? I
call
adopted 180 dogs, and I'm in jail right now," like the person last week. Well, with that, Merry Christmas, everybody. Any closing thoughts, guys?
I'm just excited for Christmas. Thank you, everyone who's been listening to the podcast and for supporting us. It really means a ton to all of us here at the Garden State, and we just hope that you guys have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. Have a great weekend. We love you guys.
Bye.
Later.
See you later. I was going to keep it
going. Let's let that baby ride out.
You're listening to the Garden State. The Dirty Jers.